Hey, what's up? Today is Tuesday, the 28th of May. I've just completed my second flight lesson in my journey of achieving the private pilot certificate. It has been a while since my first flight, which is, ironic because one of the things I always talk about is how important it is to have those flights back to back. But when you only have one aircraft at a school, you have to make do with, what's going on, because there is an issue with the aircraft's performance, which ended up having the cylinders replaced. So that took a while to get done. So that was around 2 or 3 weeks that it was from my last flight to it getting out of service to then it being serviced, and then now it's back into service. So today I did a cross-country flight, which I was not expecting, but it had to happen because since the engine had replacements done to it, there's a break-in period where you can't really stress it as much as you would when doing maneuvers. So for the time being, I'm going to be doing cross-country based lessons up until that break-in period is over, and then we can go back to maneuvers such as stalls and slow flight and steep turns. So my initial reaction to the flight, or at least my initial assessment of the flight, again, I really need to work on my footwork. My footwork with the rudder pedals, it has a lot of improvement to be done. I'm still dragging the left foot, the left brake before the right brake, and until I'm able to get my own set of rudder pedals to practice at home, that's not going to get addressed, or at least I should say that's not going to get fixed as efficiently as it would be if I could just stay in the plane for like 6 hours and just stop, go, and just practice applying even pressure. So I need to work on my foot coordination when it comes to the rudder pedals. Other than that, all the fears I had during that first flight, it was all gone. And there was a little bit of nerves leading up to the flight, like when you're filling out the paperwork, going into the actual plane and starting up. But after we took off, I noticed that I was completely calm. I wasn't doing any or just trying to maintain. I was holding my breath in. I wasn't hyperventilating. I was just calm. And it's really just, a testament to how easily your brain can trick you. Because just one bad experience and you may have thought that, wow, maybe this really isn't for me. But I knew that it was just nerves and it was just mind over matter, as my instructor told me during that first flight. So going back into the plane now, today it was like I was flying on autopilot. That's really how it felt. And I'm just very proud of myself for being able to do that, for being able to conquer that shortly lived fear. And now I'm able to, actually enjoy. I was able to actually enjoy flight. I was able to enjoy putting in the controls, whereas the first flight I was trying to do the instructions, so I didn't have to worry about anything else. But yeah, so we flew to Ian Fleming International, formerly known as Boscobel, and that's in St. Mary. It was around a 15 to 20 minute flight to and from, and I got to practice pilotage, I got to practice dead reckoning, and I just got to experience going from point A to point B, which at the end of the day, that's what flying is going to be about in the future. If I get a private pilot license, it's not always going to be staying in the pattern. It's not always going to be going to the training area, doing maneuvers, and then coming back. These point A to point B trips, that is at the end of the day the main purpose of people flying, to get from one destination to our next destination using a plane, of course. So having that experience now, I am really looking forward to the next flight. Depending on that break-in period, I may go back to maneuvers, or I may have a next cross-country flight. But as of now, I'm feeling very confident in going into that next flight. I'm feeling very confident in not worrying about any fears and just doing as I'm told and practicing. If you're not prepared, you are going to struggle. That is very evident. Even if you went to school and you had exams and you did prepare for those exams, you struggle on the exams, unless of course it's something you already knew, or you did. In that case, you already did preparation before. It just wasn't a dedicated preparation session for it. But flying, I have to take flying seriously. I have to take it seriously, because God forbid if I go up and something happens with that engine, I need to be able to know what to do, and knowing what to do is different from executing it efficiently to make sure that you don't crash. So preparation is very important. And that leads me into how was I dealing with being grounded for around 2 to 3 weeks. And I think I've mentioned it before. A flight simulator, checklist, just doing anything as much as possible related to the plane if you're at home. That's the best way you can go about it. Fortunately for me, I have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 at home, so I'm able to practice on that with the Cessna 152, which is what I fly, and I'm able to go through my checklist. I'm able to get an idea of what I need to be looking out for. I need to get an idea of practicing the procedures. Of course, in the real plane, it's a lot different, but it's as close as possible as I'm going to get. And it doesn't cost me anything anymore, at least, because I already own the simulator, I already own peripherals. I can just go home, take out the checklist on my phone, and then go through it, practice. I can use VATSIM, which is an online network. I can use that to practice my radio calls. And even if I didn't use VATSIM, I could literally speak to myself out loud. You might think I'm crazy, other people might think you're crazy, but if you need to do it, you need to do it. So at the end of the day, there are really no excuses when it comes to preparing for a flight. It's still going to be 1 step forward and 2 steps back from the sheer fact that you did not, fly back to back. But guess what? At least you were reinforcing the information. It may have not been reinforcing the physical inputs you did, but you were reinforcing what needed to be done, when it needed to be done, and how it needed to be done. The only thing you haven't done is actually doing it yourself on the actual instrument, on the actual gauge, on the actual input. That's the only thing you haven't done. You haven't physically done it, but everything else, if somebody asks you where everything is blindfolded, you should be able to do it. If somebody asks you how to do this and you have to do it blindfolded, you should be able to recite everything. So it's all about preparation, it's all about practice, it's all about repetition. As long as you repeat, practice, you will be fine. You will be fine. So that's 2 flights out of the way now. I'm really looking forward to the 3rd. Thank you for watching this video. My name has been Robert Watson. Remember to always be improving. I'll see you again in the next flight. God bless.
Yeah. I only tell you the truth. I ain't got nothing to lose. Yeah, I gave my life to God and I'm still ballin'. Ain't nobody that can tell me I ain't all in. Late at night I hear the devil steady calling me. That's when I pray to the Father that He give me strength to fight these monsters.